This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. Has this ever happened to you? Something repeats itself, and it could be years later. It could be even more recently. Like same thing comes up and you say, well, what a coincidence is that? Or was it? Did the universe show it to you again because there was a reason, maybe a lesson to be learned? We're going to dig into that today and so much more. She is an amazing psychotherapist. Um, I love the fact that she's so transparent about her life. When we talk about things like this, Dr. Hadass Harel is back with us. How are you today?
I'm okay, but I'm a little bit perplexed. I'm trying to figure out what the universe is trying to educate me about, because of some things that happened recently, but I think they pertain to all of us. I think they are just interesting learning experiences. So
Hmm.
I thought maybe we'll talk about that today.
Yes, and I can relate to this. I've seen, I don't know if we call them patterns, but things showing up again, maybe in a different form, and then wondering, like, well, why? Why is that happening again? Or then we wonder, or some of us, did I allow it to happen, or did I
Not
unknowingly?
learn. Did I not learn enough last time that almost exactly the same thing is happening
Mm.
again? Or did I like, what is up with that?
So give us a look at something that happened to you recently that either you
I
figured out or you're
will,
still trying.
yes, I will tell you because sometimes you know the people that have like the same relationship over and over and over again. And then it's so easy. You just say you have the same relationship over and over again because you haven't learned from the previous one. And sometimes this has to do with former lives and you try to analyze it and you try to educate them. But in my case, two things happened in this week. And last time it also happened in proximity. I had an accident, not my fault. The previous time was also not my fault. Someone drove into the side of my car.
Hmm.
Also, last time was not my fault. Someone drove into my car. Exactly the same way, exactly the same way. Not my fault. My car, which is relatively new, is now being repaired.
Mm.
I have an injury. I'm going to have physical therapy. Exactly the same way. My car is not here. I had to make a report. The same thing. Just very annoying. Just completely that business of being things are out of my hands. I need to let go of control. I need to like do all these details. I need to just let go. I don't like letting go. I don't know if you like letting go. I don't. We know this. You know me a little bit. I like to cross my T's, dot my
Hmm.
I's, be on top of things. I don't like this. I am not liking this. Usually when I have physical therapy, I usually learn things. I end up with about 5 new clients that I meet there. I get some new knowledge, but so be it. But I obviously don't like this. I'm not liking this. I don't like that things happen.
Well, let's dissect this for a sec. Why do you think that you had an accident? It wasn't your fault. Somebody hit
Completely
you the same.
not my fault. I was turning into my street. I was just there. This woman bursts out of a gas station, drives into my car. I saw her coming too. I thought she would stop, but she didn't stop. The other time, someone came from the back and smashed the front of my car into something. And yeah, and it had a lot of damage. just the oddest thing, just a lot of damage without me having any fault in the matter, but it was very similar damage.
Accidents will happen. However, why do you think this
Like you
was?
want to have some fault in the matter, you want to have some doing in this. You want things to not just happen without you having any say?
What's the universe trying to tell you?
It's just I mean, life will happen, but and you just have to let go.
Hmm. Would you say you've let it go? You're not processing it. I mean, it is, but then again, I don't believe there are coincidences. Some call them
It's also
coincidental
I had
incidents.
plans to that's part of it that I like to travel, I like to go places. I wanted to buy and last time actually it was even more pronounced than this because I wanted to buy a plane ticket and I didn't buy it as a result of that, and it ended up being a very good thing.
Okay. I
This
expe
time, maybe I didn't buy a plane ticket, and because last time I was trying to go to Israel, and that's when they started having serious bombing in the north.
and you're
This,
saying that you had the accident and that prevented you from getting the ticket and going. This time, is there anything floating out there that this could have?
yeah, I also want to go to Israel,
Hmm.
which I would wish for there not to be. Who knows?
That's a great point.
I learned
You may
to.
never know. You may never know the answer, but
I
maybe
never
something's.
know. I learned not to. For example, I all of a sudden. I was worried about money. All of a sudden, I have a lot more clients than I've had in a long time. Usually, I don't like to have that many. I don't. I say I don't have where to put them.
Hmm.
I say I would rather work with my plants. I would rather do things in the house. I have a million and one excuses. I have more clients and I have where to put them.
Hmm. Good problem to have, I guess. But then I know, knowing you, what's happening inside is they're asking for help, and you can't find a place for them
And they're
potentially.
interesting, and I have a lot of Canadian clients. I haven't had Canadian clients in a while, so I like
Hmm.
to know what's going on in Toronto. I
Yeah.
haven't, I used to have cousins in Toronto. I still have them, but I'm not as close with them. So, and I did a little school in Toronto when I was in dance school, and I like to know what's happening.
Hmm. And it's a
Well,
different viewpoint and different culture, since it'd be another country. I'm getting a reminder here in my mind about what you're saying with the car accidents and the travel. This time last year, my friend, he was in another country. He sold his house. He just travels wherever he does. He can work anywhere. He's like,
yeah,
yeah, if you want, come down, in another country, right? So I'm like, okay. Every time I wanted to buy the plane ticket,
something was stopping it.
or my intuition said, mm-mm-mm, and then I would do it again. Then I got sick. Then I was doing it. Mm-mm-mm. It would be sitting in the cart.
Something was saying this is not the right time.
And a few weeks later, my friend reaches out and says, hey, don't come here. I'm glad you're not. There's not, we lose power every day for like 8 hours. It will be miserably hot. He says, I'm moving from another location, just bad idea. So I waited 6 months before I felt right about it. It was perfect, went back again, like,
You went at the right time. It was not the right time.
but it was my intuition telling me I wasn't getting, well, maybe I was getting a block because I got sick. So there was, something was stopping me, but my intuition was not allowing me to press buy plane ticket. um,
At that time,
at that
and
time.
we get to a point where we can't direct anything because we really need to do things as we are told. And it's really funny because most times in my life, when I have done things because I decided it was not right,
Mm,
we really should let go of the idea of deciding things unless something says do it now.
yeah. And stop
Even
overthinking it.
with simple things like, I mean, this is very funny, but even simple things as like putting a shelf in the wall. It usually is not the correct place unless something outside ourselves is placing the shelf for us.
Hmm.
So I also had a leak from upstairs. There's a very ditzy little girl. Her mom lives upstairs, and she completely flooded my apartment 4 times, very creatively. And so I have a completely rebuilt bathroom. At one point, I lived without a ceiling for 8 months. The whole space, because it's a condo, so I have actually 2 units. One I live in, one is kind of a studio and a home office, which is really cool.
Mm.
So all of a sudden she flooded my ceiling again, which I didn't need or want, but it looks the same. And I am very, also because I work with trauma, so I'm very attuned to noticing patterns. And I'm thinking, what is up with that? This is not going to allow me to travel until this is resolved.
Mm.
I'm not enjoying a dripping ceiling. I am very concerned about a dripping ceiling. My bathroom already has tiles that look like wood on the two sides of my very pretty shower enclosure because of the time that I had wood instead of tile over there. So but I'm saying this looks exactly the same. So what is up with this? This is very curious. It is very strange because it looks exactly the same. So I'm thinking in
Mm.
life, we
Mm.
really should look at patterns as guidance. This is guiding something. So something is up with the world. And when the world is trying to guide us a little bit stronger, it means that something is afoot.
I completely agree with it. Um, I even had it a number of times this year where, and I've recognized the pattern in myself. And I used to be a people pleaser. You know, that's just why a lot of us are wired that way. Number of different reasons why that happens. Mostly goes back to childhood, as I understand it. But I engaged in two side business ideas this year, and both of them, the dynamics have changed. Mostly because I realized that, wait a minute, all of a sudden I'm doing all the work. And would even bring it up like, how did this get on me? It wasn't defined in an agreement. And these are people I'm friends with, all good. But it just, that wasn't working for me. Like they weren't pulling their weight. But I think it was the assumption that I'm going to do everything. And I'm that kind of person. I'll take care of this. I'll take it. But after a period of time, somebody else, that's why it's called a partnership. We both need to work on it. My lesson there is careful in the trust and also get it in writing. Even if it's a friendship, sign off on it. What are the expectations?
Defining things is just so important.
For sure. Yeah. But
Clearly, a clear contract, first of all, with ourselves,
mm,
because sometimes we don't clarify with ourselves what it is that we expect.
and takes two. So you have different views of things, but also I'm wired on the handshake. Yeah, what are we going to do here? All right, hey, you're taking care of that. I'm taking care of that. Okay, great. Shake on it. Let's move. Let's get it done. But then the scales kind of tipped in both situations. And I'm not saying I'm not at fault. I should have clearly defined it and just wasn't working. But that was my lesson. That's my lesson this year.
But is our definition the same as their definition when we're saying something, which is why turning it into language. Yes,
Yeah.
turning it into language and then sharing the language on both ends is just beautiful. So important.
Yeah. Lee Iacocca, big car guy from back in the day, Chrysler and all of that. He
Yes,
he always used to say, if it's not in print or documented,
it doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist. Right. Yep.
Exactly.
Mm. But that was, I
Yeah.
truly believe that was a reoccurring theme that came up. And maybe part of my people pleasing, yeah, I got this, I'll take care of that. I got this, I got that, without defining what they're doing. They're not really doing much. I'm doing everything. But that was, the universe's lesson. So lesson well taken, and corrections to be made on that. Is there a lesson in everything?
There's got to be a lesson in everything
Yeah.
because why is it coming back if it's not a lesson?
Do you feel that we are here to learn lessons?
More than that, I feel that we are on a planet with humans because it's a lesson to interact,
Hmm.
or else we would be on a planet by ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would be in some sort of sensory game room.
Right? Virtual reality, right?
Yes, it would be enough for us to learn from our own sensations, but I think the reason that we're in, you know, an interactive experience is because we need to learn community, we need to learn sometimes leadership, sometimes reacting to leadership, sometimes we need to learn some
Hmm.
sort of a communal thing. I
As
mean,
much,
whether it's dyadic, whether it's more than dyadic, but we have been put on this fortunate or unfortunate or challenging planet for a reason. So I think this is the lesson.
as much as I don't want to accept it, admit it, it is. That's,
We don't have to like it. One of the
oh,
things I really love and tell people a lot is we don't have to like it. It's okay not to like it. Many things in our daily reality, it really is okay not to like it. That's the comfort when we don't like a lesson, when we don't like we don't have to like the fact that we have to eat something to continue. We don't have to like the fact that it gets dark this early. We don't have to like a lot of things. If we do it, it's fine that we don't like it. As long as we do the things that are good for us.
well, that also goes back to, I would believe, control what you can control. It gets dark early. I don't like it either, but that's the way it is. Can you
It's
control it? No, you really
a
can't.
certain extent of acceptance, it's completely okay if we're not thrilled about it. If that's what we can do to get through it, is openly not like it, that's fine. We can have opinions about it. If that's what it takes to get through it, we don't have to like it.
I know this is odd, but my brain, you massage it, I speak and come up, share a thought. Your bathroom situation, I'm getting mold. I'm getting, my mind is saying, make sure
It
you check for mold.
actually doesn't because it's very hot in my place.
Yeah, I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying maybe there's, something to look for considering the amount of water damage you've had over a period of time. I don't know why this
We
popped in.
had the whole in between area rebuilt.
Good, good. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we had actually we had environmental agency, we had
Perfect.
gigantic dryers that look like fire engines
Yep.
from Servpro. That's what they're called.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, we had Servpro here. We had the insurance for the whole building was increased, not just the building, the whole condo association because of that chickie.
Mm,
Yeah,
hmm. I, is it true that some of us things happen, maybe they reoccur. You may never know the answer. You may never know what the universe is trying to tell you, and that's another thing. You might not like it, but that's something you need to accept.
I actually, because when I was young, I had a fantasy that people will just take care of things and I will be like, like a fairy. Like I will dance but I had to learn I actually like now to know how things are built and how they're made. And I know exactly how this building is built.
Well,
And I know so much about insulation, and the insulation in this building was completely rebuilt. So even though the building is not new, it's rebuilt, thankfully.
and maybe there's a reason you need to know that. Maybe moving forward, something will reveal
Yes,
itself.
yes, and I was responsible for that, and I worked with the people that redid it.
Hmm.
So I was in charge. I didn't like it, but I was in charge, and also the plumber that is coming. I'm friends with. I also a lot of people. I end up with all of them in therapy, obviously, because a lot of them have post-traumatic stress because a lot of them were in the service at one point, and I also and it's really interesting because you know what the best therapeutic thing that people can get who are in the service is they work with wildlife. And
Hmm.
we have bears in this area that people can work with, and also foxes and also wolves. And I can get them the thing to do that. So I have great friends.
But you may never know. Let's say this accident took place. You have a contractor come in. They become a client of
I
yours.
hook them up with things. I also am very good at getting people clean and sober from addictions. I do a lot of
But
sobriety work.
and I'm not saying this is it, but it could be. You connect with somebody that helps you with the water issue, and now they're working with you on a therapeutic level. You may be helping them,
I hook people up all the
but
time.
more than you realize is where I'm going with that. Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
and they may not tell you what's going on in their mind, but they're at the point where they need help right now, and
At
you are
that
it.
particular time, the people that did my tiles, yeah, that guy had serious anxiety. So,
Yeah,
we did some nice work while, yeah, we ended up. I don't see him, I see him like 4 times a year at this point, because this was a couple years ago. But we did some nice work at the time, and I hooked him up.
there may
Uh,
be a reason that you connected through this water accident, and even certainly, what's coming up for me here is look for the lesson. Always look for the lesson. Not always going to find it, but you should be looking for it. Ask for the lesson. Maybe universe will give it to you in another sign. But I trust that things are happening because they need to happen. And yes, it's horrible. You had two accidents. You have the water situation. Um, these
And
things
I'm
happen.
saying, nature is stronger. What I used to think about this is that nature and the elements are stronger
Yep.
than at the previous. And this is also funny because I feel that past lives reinstate themselves. And ultimately, places that you live at, a lot of times, if you end up feeling comfortable in them, end up looking like places that you've lived at, that you felt comfortable at in the past. And sometimes they look like places where you've lived in former lives. And so the intrusion of the water may have to do with that.
And one final thought here that I just realized something here, and we're out of time, but I had a water situation in this studio 2.5 months ago.
Oh,
And it inches away from where I built somebody with somebody else. And that didn't work out, what I referred to before. Somebody said to me, "Oh, well, water's cleansing." You ever think that maybe the water was
I
cleansing
wanted
that
to cleanse
situation?
something and to rise.
And maybe that's in your situation too. You
In
never.
my place, I came back from Israel and I started to grow the things I grow indoors here. The things that I was upset that I was removed from my orchard in Israel, that I started to regrow my mother's trees.
Hmm.
So I have a jasmine tree growing indoors, actually two jasmines, two different types of jasmines. And I have things growing from the ceiling. I have a queen of the night, which is really it's a cactus, but I was able to make it grow here. And they're like trailing from the ceiling. So my bathroom is just full of plants. And they're all dripping from the ceiling. And so maybe they wanted a waterfall. Who knows? But I have things that make no sense that they would grow indoors.
So my friend had a baby girl. Oh, well, not too long ago. Guess what her name is? Jasmine.
Oh, there you go. Yes,
Probably
yes,
something that I'm being told here, whatever.
yes. And
Uh,
my jasmine is really scented.
hmm,
It's a very strong scent. So if you go, like there's an entrance to my bathroom from my kitchen,
hmm.
it's a very strong scent of jasmine. And it's just, yeah. You should get them a jasmine plant at some.
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah,
thank you for that.
yeah.
How does somebody connect with you? This is what you do.
Well, the number is 508-631-7649, and it's also on WhatsApp. It's very easy to get me. And also, BetterHelp is an organization that has like packages or also weekly, where people just
Hmm,
want to see me for therapy.
beautiful.
So,
Thank you for today. Thank you for the reminder that we need to look for the lessons in life. They're showing up for a reason, especially if they
and for
reoccur
signs,
in the sentence.
we
Yep.
always get signs. You get signs, I get signs. And people can connect with you, and then we'll
Oh,
get
yeah,
a.
totally. If you want to share something, instant feedback, Steve at gmail.com. Hadass, thank you for today. Appreciate it.
It was great seeing you, and we'll see each other next time.
You got it. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.